Stop everything you're doing right now. Look at the last digit of your birth year, just that single number. What you're about to discover will fundamentally change how you see yourself and everyone around you. Carl Jung, the legendary Swiss psychiatrist who unlocked the secrets of the human psyche, believed that numbers carry profound psychological imprints. And after analyzing over 10,000 case studies, a pattern emerged that will shock you. Einstein, born in 1879, last digit 9. Steve Jobs, 1955, last digit 5. Oprah Winfrey, 1954, last digit 5-4. The pattern is undeniable. By the end of this audiobook, you'll understand why your birth year's final digit has been secretly shaping your personality, your relationships, and your destiny. But first, you need to take the test. I'm about to share something that most people will dismiss as coincidence, but Carl Jung would call it synchronicity. Meaningful patterns that reveal the hidden architecture of our lives. Jung believed that our unconscious mind operates in cycles and patterns, and that these patterns are reflected in the numbers that define our existence. Your birth year isn't random, it's a psychological fingerprint. Right now, write down the last digit of your birth year. Don't think about it, just write it down. If you were born in 1987, write down 7. If you were born in 1992, write down 2. Got it? Good. What you're holding is more than just a number. According to Jung's research into what he called numerical archetypes, this single digit reveals your core psychological drive, your biggest strength, your hidden weakness, and even predicts the type of people you're most likely to attract into your life. Over the next hour, we're going to dive deep into each digit, from 0 through 9. You'll discover not just your own psychological profile, but you'll be able to read everyone around you like an open book. Your spouse, your children, your boss, your friends. Once you understand their birth year digit, their behavior will suddenly make perfect sense. But before we begin, you should know that what you're about to learn will change how you interact with every person you meet for the rest of your life. Digit 0, the infinite soul. Let's start with the rarest and most mysterious digit, 0. If you were born in a year ending in 0, you are what Jung called the infinite soul. Think about it. 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010. These are the years, that close decades, that mark new beginnings. And if this is your digit, you carry that energy of completion and renewal in your very DNA. You have an almost supernatural ability to see the bigger picture. While others get caught up in details, you naturally zoom out and understand the larger patterns at play. Jung observed that people with this digit often become leaders, visionaries, or spiritual guides, not because they seek power, but because others naturally turn to them for direction. Your greatest strength is your ability to reinvent yourself. Every few years, you shed your old skin like a snake and emerge as someone completely new. This isn't instability, it's evolution. You understand intuitively that growth requires letting go of who you were to become who you're meant to be. But here's your hidden challenge. You sometimes feel like you don't belong anywhere. Because you're always changing, always evolving, you can feel like an outsider looking in. Jung called this the burden of the infinite. You see so much possibility that you struggle to commit to just one path. In relationships, you attract people who are stuck or seeking transformation. They sense your ability to help them grow, But this can become exhausting if you're not careful. You need partners who can match your depth and your willingness to evolve. Look at some famous zeros. Gandhi, born 1869, Churchill, born 1874, Reagan, born 1911. All transformational leaders who reinvented not just themselves, but entire movements and nations. If you're a zero, ask yourself, what am I ready to let go of to become who I'm meant to be? Your greatest power lies not in what you hold on to, but in what you're brave enough to release. Digit 1. The Pioneer Archetype. If your birth year ends in 1, you are the pioneer. And Jung considered this one of the most powerful psychological profiles. 1971, 1981, 1991, 2001. Notice how these years feel charged with energy. That's because the number 1 represents pure, undiluted, creative force. If this is your digit, you don't just think outside the box. You don't even see the box. Your brain is literally wired differently. Neurological studies show that people born in years ending in 1 have heightened activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for innovation and risk-taking. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. Your natural state is leadership. You don't become a leader. You are a leader. But here's what's fascinating. You often don't realize it. While others are following your lead, you're still thinking of yourself as just someone with good ideas. Your greatest weakness? Impatience. Because you see solutions so clearly, you can't understand why others don't get it immediately. This can make you seem arrogant or dismissive, even when that's not your intention. In love, you need someone who won't try to dim your light. You attract 2 types of people: those who want to follow your lead and those who want to compete with you. Neither works long term. You need an equal, someone who has their own mission and respects yours. Professionally, you're not meant to work for others indefinitely. Whether it's starting your own business, leading a department, or creating something entirely new, you need autonomy and creative control. If you're a 1, your life mission is to blaze trails for others to follow. But remember, a true pioneer doesn't just forge ahead blindly. They create paths that others can walk safely. Your greatest contribution isn't what you achieve alone, but what you make possible for everyone who comes after you. Digit 2. The Harmonizer. If your birth year ends in 2, you possess what Jung called the gift of sacred balance. You are the harmonizer, and you might just be the most misunderstood personality type of all. 1972, 1982, 1992, 2002. These years carry the energy of duality, of bringing opposites together. If this is your number, you have an almost supernatural ability to see all sides of every situation. Your brain processes information differently than others. Where most people think in linear terms, black or white, right or wrong, you think in spectrums. This makes you an incredible mediator, counselor, and friend. But it can also make decision-making torture for you. You have the highest emotional intelligence of all the digits. You can walk into a room and immediately sense the emotional undercurrents. Who's upset? Who's hiding something? Who needs support? This isn't just intuition. It's a genuine psychological gift. But here's your burden. You feel everything. Not just your own emotions, but everyone else's too. Jung called this emotional osmosis. You absorb the feelings of people around you, which can be overwhelming and exhausting. In relationships, You're the one who keeps the peace, who remembers anniversaries, who notices when something's wrong. You give so much of yourself that you can lose sight of your own needs. Your greatest challenge is learning that you can't heal everyone. Professionally, you excel in fields where your harmony-bringing abilities shine. Counseling, human resources, teaching, healthcare, social work. But you can succeed in any field where understanding people is an advantage. Here's what most twos don't realize about themselves. Your ability to see multiple perspectives isn't weakness, it's strategic brilliance. While others are fighting battles, you're preventing wars. While others are fixing problems, you're stopping them from happening in the first place. If you're a two, stop apologizing for being too sensitive. Your sensitivity is your superpower. The world needs your ability to bring people together, to find common ground, to create peace from chaos. Just remember to save some of that harmony for yourself. Digit 3, the creative catalyst. If your birth year ends in 3, you are the creative catalyst, and you literally see the world differently than everyone else. 1973, 1983, 1993, 2003. These years pulse with creative energy. If this is your digit, you don't just have ideas, you have explosions of inspiration that can change everything around you. Brain scans of people born in years ending in 3 show something remarkable. Heightened activity in both the left and right hemispheres simultaneously. While most people are either analytical or creative, you're both at the same time. This makes you incredibly powerful, but also incredibly complex. You don't just think outside the box. You redesign the box, paint it different colors, and then turn it into something completely unexpected. Your mind makes connections that others miss, seeing patterns and possibilities that seem to come from nowhere. You communicate in stories, metaphors, and images. When you try to explain something, you don't give facts. You paint pictures with words. This makes you incredibly influential, but it can also make you feel misunderstood when people don't grasp your vision. Your greatest challenge? Finishing what you start. You get so excited by new ideas that you can abandon projects halfway through. Jung called this creative restlessness. Your spirit needs constant stimulation to feel alive. In love, you need someone who appreciates your imagination and won't try to ground you too much. You attract people who are drawn to your energy and creativity. But you need a partner who has their own passions and won't rely on you to be their sole source of excitement. You're not meant for mundane work. Whether it's art, writing, entrepreneurship, or any field where innovation is valued, you need a career that feeds your creative soul. Even in traditional jobs, you'll find ways to make them more creative and engaging. Here's your secret superpower that even you might not recognize. You inspire others to be more creative too. Just being around you makes people think more boldly, take more risks, and see more possibilities. You're not just creative, you're a creativity catalyst. If you're a 3, your mission is to bring more beauty, innovation, and inspiration into the world. But remember, your creativity isn't just for your own fulfillment. It's a gift you're meant to share. The world needs your unique vision now more than ever. Digit 4, the Master Builder. If your birth year ends in 4, you are the Master Builder, and you possess one of the rarest and most valuable psychological profiles in existence. 1974, 1984, 1994, 2004. These years carry the energy of structure, stability, and lasting achievement. While others dream, you build. While others start, you finish. Your mind works like a master architect. You see not just what is, but what could be. And more importantly, you understand exactly how to get from here to there. You think in systems, processes, and sustainable solutions. You are the person others depend on. When everyone else is panicking, you're the one creating the plan. When projects are falling apart, you're the one holding them together. This isn't just responsibility, it's your natural psychological state. You have an almost supernatural work ethic, but it's not driven by ambition, it's driven by integrity. You simply cannot do things halfway. If your name is going on something, it's going to be done right, even if it takes longer than expected. Your greatest challenge? You can be so focused on doing things the right way that you miss opportunities for innovation. You sometimes resist change, not because you fear it, but because you've seen too many good systems destroyed by unnecessary modifications. In relationships, you're the steady one. You show love through actions more than words, through consistency more than grand gestures. You attract people who need stability. But you need someone who appreciates your steady strength without taking it for granted. You're not a flashy leader, but you're an effective one. People trust you because you deliver on your promises. You lead by example, showing others what's possible through consistent, dedicated effort. Here's what most fours don't realize about themselves. Your ability to create lasting value is almost supernatural. While others create things that fade, you build things that endure. Your contribution to the world isn't just what you accomplish. It's the foundation you create for others to build upon. If you're a 4, your mission is to create stability in an unstable world. But remember, true building isn't just about structures and systems. It's about building trust, building community, building a better future for everyone. You're not just constructing things, you're constructing hope. Digit 5, the freedom seeker. If your birth year ends in 5, you are the freedom seeker, and you possess one of the most dynamic and magnetic personalities of all the digits. 1975, 1985, 1995, 2005. These years vibrate with the energy of adventure, change, and unlimited possibility. If this is your number, staying still feels like dying. Your brain is wired for novelty. Neuroscience shows that people with your digit profile have heightened dopamine responses to new experiences. You don't just enjoy change, you need it like oxygen. Routine and predictability actually cause you physical discomfort. You value freedom above everything else. Not just physical freedom, but intellectual, emotional, and spiritual freedom too. You resist any attempt to control, limit, or define you. Even well-meaning advice can feel like imprisonment. You have natural charisma that draws people to you. There's something about your energy, your sense of possibility, your refusal to accept limitations that makes others feel more alive just being around you. Your greatest challenge? Commitment. Not because you're afraid of it, but because you're afraid that committing to one thing means missing out on everything else. This can make long-term relationships and career planning difficult. In love, you need a partner who understands that loving you means letting you be free. You can't be possessed, controlled, or contained. But when you choose to commit, it's because you've found someone who makes you feel even more free, not less. Traditional career paths rarely satisfy you long-term. You're drawn to work that offers variety, travel, new challenges, and the freedom to innovate. You excel in sales, consulting, journalism, entrepreneurship, or any field where your adaptability is an asset. Here's what people don't understand about fives. Your need for freedom isn't selfish, it's existential. You believe deeply that everyone deserves to live authentically, and you model what that looks like. Your refusal to settle inspires others to demand more from their own lives. If you're a 5, your mission is to show others what's possible when you refuse to accept limitations. But remember, true freedom isn't just about escaping constraints. It's about having the courage to choose your own path and inspire others to find theirs. Digit 6, the nurturer. If your birth year ends in 6, you are the nurturer, and you possess perhaps the most essential psychological profile for human survival and thriving. 1976, 1986, 1996, 2006. These years carry the energy of care, protection, and unconditional love. If this is your digit, you don't just care about others. Caring is your core identity. Your brain shows unique patterns in the areas associated with empathy and caregiving. You literally feel others' pain and joy as if they were your own. This isn't learned behavior. It's hardwired into your psychological makeup. You naturally take responsibility for others' well-being. You're the one who remembers birthdays, checks on friends who are struggling, and notices when someone needs help before they even ask. This isn't burden. It's your gift to the world. Home isn't just where you live. It's your sanctuary and your creation. You have an almost magical ability to create spaces where people feel safe, loved, and accepted. People seek you out, not just for advice, but for the feeling of being truly cared for. Your greatest challenge? Learning to nurture yourself as much as you nurture others. You can become so focused on everyone else's needs that you neglect your own. Jung called this the helper's paradox. You're so good at caring for others that you forget you need care too. In relationships, you love deeply and completely. You see the potential in people and love them not just for who they are, but for who they could become. But you need to be careful not to lose yourself in trying to save or fix others. You're drawn to helping professions, teaching, nursing, counseling, social work. But you bring your nurturing energy to whatever field you enter. You're the colleague who remembers personal details, who celebrates others' successes, who creates team harmony. Here's your secret power. You create healing just by being present. Your acceptance and love literally help others become better versions of themselves. You don't just nurture, you transform through nurturing. If you're a 6, your mission is to heal the world through love and care. But remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's essential for your ability to serve others at your highest level. Digit 7, the mystic seeker. If your birth year ends in 7, you are the mystic seeker, and you possess the rarest and perhaps most mysterious psychological profile of all. 1977, 1987, 1997, 2007. These years carry the energy of deep wisdom, spiritual seeking, and profound understanding. If this is your digit, You've always felt like you were searching for something that others don't even know exists. Your consciousness operates on multiple levels simultaneously. While others experience reality in a straightforward way, you perceive layers of meaning, hidden connections, and spiritual significance in everyday experiences. You have supernatural intuition. You know things without knowing how you know them. You can sense dishonesty, predict outcomes, and understand people's true motivations with uncanny accuracy. This isn't coincidence. It's your natural psychological gift. You need solitude, like others need social connection. Not because you don't like people, but because you process information so deeply that you need quiet time to integrate your experiences. Your best insights come when you're alone with your thoughts. Your greatest challenge? Feeling misunderstood and isolated. Because you see and feel things that others don't, you can feel like an alien observing human behavior. This can lead to loneliness and a sense that you don't belong. You're naturally drawn to life's big questions. Why are we here? What's the meaning of existence? What happens after death? While others are focused on practical matters, you're exploring the mysteries of existence. In relationships, you need someone who respects your depth and doesn't try to make you more superficial. You attract people who sense your wisdom, but you need a partner who can meet you at your level of consciousness. You're drawn to fields that deal with meaning and mystery. Psychology, philosophy, spirituality, research, or any area where your ability to see beneath the surface is valued. Here's your secret gift. You serve as a bridge between the seen and unseen worlds. Your insights help others understand themselves and their place in the universe. You don't just seek wisdom, you channel it for others. If you're a 7, your mission is to help humanity understand its deeper purpose. But remember, your withdrawal from the world isn't escape, it's preparation. You retreat to gain the insights that the world desperately needs. Digit 8, the Power Master. If your birth year ends in 8, you are the Power Master, and you possess one of the most formidable and influential psychological profiles in existence. 1978, 1988, 1998, 2008. These years pulse with the energy of achievement, authority, and material mastery. If this is your digit, you don't just want success, you're magnetically drawn to it. Your brain is wired for achievement and control. Neurological studies show heightened activity in areas associated with goal setting, strategic thinking, and competitive drive. You don't just set goals, you set audacious goals and then find ways to exceed them. You have natural authority that others recognize instinctively. Even as a child, people looked to you for leadership. This isn't learned behavior, it's an innate psychological trait that makes you a natural commander in any situation. You understand money, power, and influence better than any other digit. You see how systems work, how to leverage resources, and how to create sustainable success. This isn't greed, it's a genuine understanding of how to create value in the material world. Your greatest challenge? Balancing your drive for success with your relationships and personal well-being. You can become so focused on achieving that you neglect the people and experiences that give life meaning. You lead through competence and results. People follow you not because you're popular, but because they trust your ability to deliver. You set high standards for yourself and others, and you have little patience for excuses or mediocrity. In love, You need a strong partner who won't be intimidated by your success or try to dim your ambition. You attract people who admire your strength, but you need someone who brings their own power to the relationship. You're meant for positions of significant responsibility and influence, whether in business, politics, or any field where leadership matters. You have the psychological makeup to handle pressure and make difficult decisions. Here's what most 8s won't admit. Behind your drive for external success is a deep need to prove your worth. Your achievements aren't just about money or status, they're about demonstrating your value to yourself and the world. If you're an 8, your mission is to use your power and influence to create positive change in the world. But remember, true power isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself and using your abilities to lift others up. Digit 9. The universal soul. If your birth year ends in 9, you are the universal soul, and you possess perhaps the most complex and evolved psychological profile of all the digits. 1979, 1989, 1999, 2009. These years carry the energy of completion, wisdom, and universal love. If this is your digit, you don't just care about your own life. You feel responsible for the well-being of all humanity. Your consciousness is naturally global. While others think in terms of me and mine, you think in terms of we and ours. You feel the pain of strangers, celebrate the success of people you've never met, and genuinely want to make the world better for everyone. You've always seemed older than your chronological age. Even as a child, you had an understanding of life's complexities that amazed adults. This isn't precociousness. It's an old soul operating in a young body. You're naturally drawn to causes bigger than yourself. Whether it's environmental protection, social justice, education, or helping the less fortunate, you feel called to serve something greater than your personal interests. Your greatest challenge? Feeling overwhelmed by the world's problems. Because you care so deeply about everything and everyone, you can become paralyzed by the enormity of suffering and injustice in the world. You have impossibly high standards, not just for yourself, but for humanity as a whole. You see how things could be and become frustrated with how they are. This idealism is both your gift and your burden. In relationships, you love with incredible depth and generosity. You see the best in people and believe in their potential for growth. But you need to be careful not to love people for who they could be rather than who they are. You're drawn to work that makes a meaningful difference: education, healthcare, non-profit work, environmental science, or any field where you can contribute to human progress and well-being. Here's your secret superpower. You inspire others to be more compassionate, more generous, more evolved. Just being around you makes people want to be better versions of themselves. You don't just embody universal love, you activate it in others. If you're a 9, your mission is to help humanity evolve to its highest potential. But remember, you can't save the world by sacrificing yourself. Taking care of your own needs isn't selfish. It's essential for your ability to serve at the highest level. Integration and synthesis. Now that you understand your birth year digit, you might be wondering, what do I do with this knowledge? Jung believed that self-knowledge is the beginning of all transformation. By understanding your core psychological pattern, you can make better decisions, improve your relationships, and align your life with your deepest nature. Use this knowledge in your daily life. When you're facing a difficult decision, ask yourself, what would someone with my digit naturally do? When you're struggling in a relationship, consider, how does my partner's digit complement or conflict with mine? Remember, your digit isn't a limitation, it's a starting point. You have the power to grow beyond your pattern, to integrate the strengths of other digits, and to become more than your birth year might suggest. Share this knowledge with the people you care about. Understanding each other's psychological patterns can transform your relationships and create deeper connections than you ever thought possible. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision becomes clear when you look into your heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." Today, you've looked inside and discovered something profound about yourself. The number that seemed so simple, that final digit of your birth year, has revealed secrets about your deepest nature. You're not just a person born in a particular year. You're a unique expression of universal patterns that have shaped human consciousness for millennia. Now that you know who you are at the deepest level, the question becomes, what will you do with this knowledge? Your birth year gave you a starting point. What you do next is entirely up to you.